I've said it a ton lately, but I'll say it one more time. Joe Rogan has been absolutely on fire with the guests that he is bringing on his show, with the opinions that he's actually being made known nowadays after he's been, I feel like he's been hiding these opinions and kind of a little bit scared, a little bit nervous to actually make them known. Now he's just full on like, I don't care. I'm going to destroy, the woke left, the woke cult, because that's the right thing to do. So shout out Joe Rogan for that. But he had James Lyndsay on his show, the Joe Rogan Experience, recently, and there's some really great clips, some really great conversations, and some things that I never thought I'd hear Joe Rogan say inside of this video that I'm going to show you right here. We have a few clips to go over, this one being the first one. This clip is from Vigilant Fox. It says, Joe Rogan says we're empowering evil with terms like minor attracted persons. He's right. The term minor attracted persons freaks me the F out. When you're trying to normalize PDF files, you're trying to normalize people who want to groom kids and stuff like that. That's crazy. You're empowering the evil ones, the ones infected by demons that want to go and F kids. So let's check this out this clip here from Joe Rogan.
It's so crazy that we've always protected children from influence. We've always protected children from bad decisions. That's why you can't get a tattoo.
No, they have to go after the kids. They have to, because they're soft targets.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
You're 100% right, but they're after childhood innocence. They say that too. There are papers against childhood innocence saying that it's a social construct meant to protect some kids and not others, and meant to preserve normalcy and white heteronormativity and all of this other crap.
That's why the term minor attracted persons freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
When you're trying to normalize people who want to f kids. That's crazy. And by the way, it's almost always men. Like you are empowering the creepiest of creeps.
The creepy creeps.
The monsters of the male species. The ones, if you want to talk about men, like men being toxic, the most toxic.
Yeah.
You're empowering
like the 0.01%.
The evil ones. The ones infected by demons.
Yeah.
That want them to go You're empowering them by telling them that it's an identity.
I mean, it is pretty crazy, but we know that this is coming from, these are orders from above, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying to do it. They're trying to push this on people, and like James Lyndsay was saying there to Joe Rogan, they're going after the kids for a reason, because they're impressionable, they're soft, they're moldable. That's why they're trying to, take over the schools and stuff like that, because it's easy to impress on kids. There's certain things that, if they normalize, MAPs or MAPs or whatever you want to call them, if they normalize that in schools and they normalize that while, these children right now are young, by the time those children grow up, they will be completely normal to them. Like, to us, it sounds absolutely nuts. To people like Joe Rogan and James Lyndsay, like he's talking to, sounds absolutely nuts. But to me, like to our children, it's not going to sound that nuts. If it's normalized now and their teachers are talking about it, they're learning about it in textbooks, it's not going to sound nuts. It's just going to be part of their life. There's certain things that are normal to us that are absolutely nuts to people who are way older than us. Like, think about even things, it doesn't even have to be a political thing. It could be a smartphone, an iPhone. It's totally normal to us. To people who lived 100 years ago, that is absolutely insane. Things as normal as cars and airplanes. Like, imagine how normal these MAPs are going to be to children if we allow them to keep doing what they're doing to schools and to children. This tweet here is from Myth Informed. It says, do you know what repels a revolution in a country better than anything? Social stability. So if you can destabilize a population, you can get them to crave a revolution or consent to sacrificing liberty for security. Conceptual James tells Joe Rogan why the chaos we are seeing is likely intentional. Let's check out this clip here from James Lyndsay and Joe Rogan.
I'm more afraid that this is intentional in a lot of places, in a lot of ways.
But this
we know in those cities, we know.
But if they played it out this much, have they thought about it and said, you know what, we want more crime, we want more illegal aliens, and if we keep the chaos, and then we keep passing laws, we'll get further down the road.
If you read the Marxist literature, which is unfortunately my damn job, you can derive a number of different conclusions. One of these conclusions that you can derive absolutely is, do you know what repels a revolution in a country better than anything? Stability. Social stability. So if you can destabilize a population, then you can get them to crave a revolution, or you can, like with the Patriot Act, you can get them to assent to sacrificing their liberties for security. So if you can destabilize an area, then you can cause them to want to have radical political change. We just saw this. This woman was in the Fox News this morning, so I had to double check. But she's talking about, was she from Maryland? She's in the government. She says that she wants to burn the country to the ground so her ideology can rise out of it. out of the ashes.
Whoa.
Right? So she said this publicly, and she's the equity coordinator in one of these cities.
They've been doing it right in our face, right? Like the WEF saying, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And like these people don't care anymore. We saw that back in 2020. They were all telling us stay inside, wear masks, stuff like that. And they're all outside. None of them are wearing masks. None of them are getting jabbed. Like it's obvious. They're just doing it right in our face now because they think we're that stupid. And to be honest with you, a lot of people are that stupid. A lot of people out there are NPCs. Like, they don't understand what's going on. You talk to people like me and you, like we watch this kind of content, we understand what's going on. You talk to like your family members who don't keep up with this kind of stuff. Like I talk to people all the time in my daily life and they're not worried about this. They're barely scraping by in life. They're trying to make enough money to put food on the table. They don't have time to worry about stuff like this. They don't know what's going on. They're just doing what they're told to do, going about their life completely, a non-playable character. They don't understand this. So a lot of the population is that stupid, where you can just say these things out in plain sight. You can just be this blatant with it because they're not gonna care. Like I said, they're just trying to put food on the table for their kids to eat, Whereas people like me and you, we understand what's going on, but most of the population out there, they just have no idea. We also have this clip, which I just find really nuts that this is being a recurring thing from Joe Rogan, on the Joe Rogan Experience. He keeps talking about religion. He keeps talking about Christianity. It's nuts. I never thought I'd see Joe Rogan say this so often, but it's awesome to see. James Lyndsay, this tweet is from News Nomad. It says, James Lyndsay and Joe Rogan discuss how faith is the best deterrent to totalitarianism. The state is never above God in Christianity and Judaism, ever. So when the state goes against your religion, you're going to say, no, I have a higher duty and it's not to the state. And if you kill me, I'm going to a better place, so I don't care. So here is Joe Rogan talking about Christianity with James Lyndsay.
And I think particularly if you're not religious, I think one of the things about religious people is they've already got their thing, so, and hopefully it's one that promotes good values and it's a good thing. Yeah. But there's a part in the brain that wants that thing.
Yeah.
And atheists, they don't have a religion, and so they find a social religion.
Social religion, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So they find it in their social circumstances, politics, economics, and it always goes demonic when they do that. I've been spending a lot of time, thanks to Charlie Kirk, I've been spending a lot of time paying attention to the tenets of Christianity and studying it, and it's got a lot of good advice in there. But you're 100% right that if you try to lack a religion, and the primary thing with the religion, so if you lack a religion, then it'll get filled in with other things for very many people. I think there's a small percentage of people for maybe that doesn't apply, but
there's a spot in your brain for it.
But the thing that, why do they go after Christians and Jews so hard everywhere they go? And the reason is because they are completely committed to. They're not. When you say they already have their thing. For Christians and Jews, that's not how they think about God. It's not their thing. That's something that's above everything else.
Well, the Muslims as well.
Well, Muslims too. But Islam's a...
No, notice how, I've recently noticed this, and I put this together. Notice how, like, when Ice Spice is on the Super Bowl, and she's wearing an upside down cross, what is that to signify? Like, she's an atheist, like she sold her soul, right? Notice how they always use an upside down cross. They don't use any other symbolism from other religions too much, as much as they use an upside down cross. At least personally, I see that a ton. Like I see all these rappers and everything wearing upside down crosses, right? Going directly against the Christian symbol of their faith. It's always upside down crosses. So they're always attacking Christianity specifically. Obviously, Judaism gets attacked, Islam gets attacked, of course. But the upside down cross thing is like the recurring symbol of, I don't like your religion, I've sold my soul. And that's, it's the Christian symbol of faith.
A little bit different because it's got a political element worked into it. And I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying that the state is never above God in Christianity and Judaism, ever. The state and God are somewhat intertwined, or can be in Islam, but it's not, so they're not quite identical, but it's true. The God is above state, no question. So when the state shows up and says to you, hey, you're going to do X, Y, Z, or else, and it goes against your religion, if you're a Christian or Jew, and to many, if it's not Islam, a Muslim, you're going to say, no, I have a higher duty, and it's not to the state. And if you kill me, I'm going to a better place, so I don't care. And that's the enemy of totalitarianism in a way that nothing else is. The Confucian virtues of China don't have that. Buddhism actually kind of doesn't have that.
And that's why they're so scared of it. That's why they're trying to do away with it. So it's crazy to me, man. It's awesome to see, you know, Joe Rogan. I never thought I'd see it. I've been a fan of Joe Rogan for a while. I've been a fan of his podcast for a while. And I never thought I would see him talk about, you know, religion and faith and Christianity this much in such a positive way. Like, he's bringing it up recurringly on his podcast, on the Joe Rogan Experience. It's being brought up a ton. News Nomad says, amazing how these two men are discussing faith. God is moving. And shout out to Charlie Kirk for what he's been sharing with James. It's crazy, dude. It's awesome to see somebody, you know, with the biggest platform in the world just promoting this good message in a world full of, you know, just straight up evil, you know, like a ton of it. And most podcasts out there are not promoting anything close to this. So shout out to Joe Rogan for not only, you know, doing this and talking about faith so often, but also just calling out the sick people out there, the woke left, the woke cult out there, just absolutely destroying those people. Not really holding anything back anymore. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about these few Joe Rogan clips from the James Lyndsay podcast. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys on the next one.